Hello. Welcome to day 33. We are starting off with a new look, obviously. I got some bangs. We're still learning how to play around with them, but we're kind of feeling a new vibe now. And I just wanted to take a little time today to talk about the idea of why we can often feel stuck. The idea that we get to certain points in our lives and we can feel like we're just kind of churning our wheels, or that we can't get out of the space or the place that we are in. There's been many times I've felt like that, where I've just felt like nothing's changing, nothing new is coming, and there's two things that can be happening. One can be you can be in an expansion point where you're kind of in what we call the void, or that space in between, where you haven't quite gotten to that next level, or you have expanded your container and haven't filled it yet. But the place that I'm really talking about right now is where you feel stuck and you can't figure out the way out, or what it looks like, or what direction to go, and you have no sense of that expansion, but you just have this sense that your feet are kind of stuck in the mud. And this is often the point where we get to look at our consumption versus our creation. And not just are we watching a little too much TV, but really how much consumption versus creation are we doing? Are we spending the majority of our time consuming, going to a job that's not really inspiring or asking us to create anything different, and then coming home and consuming? Right? And it's so easy to do that sort of thing in today's society with our phones, with our computers, with the TV, with everything that's even getting obsessed with just listening to audiobooks and not creating, right? Consumption can look like a healthy habit that has gotten disproportionately larger than the percentage of time that you're creating, right? Anything done in excess can be eventually detrimental. Anything done in, that keeps it out of balance. So that includes, like, if you are literally consuming too many informational podcasts, or you are listening to too many audiobooks, or even if, and I love reading, I'm a big proponent of reading, but if you are reading more than you are able to sit with yourself and have a creative conversation, then that can put your life off balance. And that point can start to feel stuck, right? You aren't personally, as a human being, creating anything new, doing anything new. It's a day in, it's a day out, it's a day in and day out. And you may be consuming different content, but you're not creating anything. And it's in that act of simple creation that can really start to shift. And it can be something so simple as in you wake up and you decide this morning you're going to do a little journaling. Or today I'm going to bake some cookies. Or today I'm going to plant something in my garden. It's that we get so stuck in the day in and the day out that we can't see past what is happening for us. We can't see past the consumption. And it is in a small act of creation, because we are innately wired as human beings to be creators, to be people that have vision, to be artists, to be able to take something from nothing to some beautiful vision that you can possibly have for yourself. And so if you are in that place where you're starting to feel stagnant or stuck or confused as to what to do next, I encourage you to engage in some level of creation and some level of engagement with something that you are making with your hands or with your mind, or some piece of artwork. It can literally be anything. And sometimes it is in that small shift in the morning and the small intentionality that can open up the space. And beyond that, I always encourage some level of silent time, of space with just yourself, of space in that void. Whether it's in the morning, you have your cup of coffee in silence, just being with yourself. Because when we fill our lives with to-dos and with consumption and with all sorts of things all the time, we literally don't have any space left for our own ideas, for our own contemplations, for really just the pure joy that can come from the day-to-day in life. So this is one big place that if you're feeling in that space, or you've been watching some of these videos and you feel like, I don't know what to do next, I don't know where to go, sometimes it's taking back and having that cup of coffee in the quiet, right? Or allowing yourself, like I sauna regularly, and that for me is very much a meditative space. But giving yourself that breath to be able to hear your own voice, to be able to connect with what you innately are able to do, can really open up a clearer channel with the divine as to what the next step will be. And sometimes it's not the big step that you were hoping to have guidance from. Maybe it's just a little go over here or do this, or maybe it's a nudge to create something that you've never done before. And you don't know where that's going to lead. We never know where our nudges are going to lead. But what we know is that something really cool can happen. Whether that nudge is just simply that you created it and you moved yourself a little bit out of the mud, or whether it opens up an entirely different door that you didn't know existed before that. So I'm going to leave that here on this beautiful Monday, something short and sweet for you, and I hope you have a beautiful day.